I'm a candidate for District 8, South Sacramento, which is a makeup of Meadowview, North Laguna Creek, the Valley High and Parkway area. It's a pretty large district with a lot of diversity, a lot of culture, a lot of cool, creative community things that are happening. I'm excited to have already served in the district and the capacity that I currently am.
Wonderful, wonderful. And so for the people who are not familiar with your background here in South Sacramento and the current positions that you do hold here in our community, can you tell us a little bit about what you do right now?
Thank you. So, I've lived, worked, played, grew up in the district, have met my wife in the district, raised my family in the district. For the last 20 years, I've worked in the district as a pastor of South Sacramento Christian Center. I'm also one of the founding coalition members of the Simmons Community Center, named in honor of my dad and mom, Bishop Esley and Dr. Deborah Simmons, where we took the old skating ring, Cal Skate, and repurposed it. And now we have a community life center that we see well over 1,000 kids come through our doors on a monthly basis before the pandemic, with a brand new NBA basketball floor, thanks to our Sacramento Kings partners. And we've restored the old skating floor as well too, and brought a brand new skating floor back to South Sacramento. I've worked for many years at addressing community violence. And actually, as a result of a lot of work we've been a part of, through the reduction of African-American childhood death, with which I co-lead for the Valley High area with Katrina Simmons, we have seen youth homicides drop to 0 for 2 years straight. And I think that's an incredible thing when we talk about even the recent level of violence within our community. Another thing I've worked on within the district or within our community is addressing a lot of the hard issues around community and police relationships. At one point, I was the chair for the Sacramento Police Commission. That commission was formed to foster and grow community and police relationships and accountability and transparency. I spent some time doing that. I've also been a board member for Sacramento ACT area congregations for about 8 years or so, and I'm on the board of the Macro Business District, which we help revitalize area in the Macro corridor, help start the Valley High Community Center with programs like Summer Night Lights that actually went viral in our community, and it went from South Sacramento to areas in Meadowview, to Oak Park, to Del Paso Heights. That's a lot of the work that I've been involved in over the years, led community peace walks. And there's a number of issues that were done even before the pandemic that's proven leadership. And then even during this time, during this pandemic that we're in.
Okay. So a long record of being involved here in our South Sacramento community specifically. I know personally, because from interviewing you several times about many of the things that you've been involved with here locally. So can you talk to me a little bit about why you wanted to get involved and run for this seat on the Sacramento City Council?
You know, I've always had a drive to make a difference, and over the last decade or so, continuing involved in different like community issues around violence, community issues around economic development, or addressing infant mortality rate, and then joining the board for Macro Business District. I think these are elevations of leadership that addresses a set of issues or a set of challenges. And for District 8, we've always been a community that lacks the targeted economic development. And I feel like there's more opportunity, but you need political leaders to help drive those set of values and drive the change that's needed in our district. So as a result of seeing all of what's available and being an advocate with proven leadership, it has led me to say I want to, be a part of the next process to move policy in a way that impacts our community, that's felt, that's seen, that's investing in our youth, addressing key issues around homelessness and housing, key issues around economic development. With so much diversity and creativity in our district, I think it needs the support of a council member that understands it and is able to target those areas of opportunity within our district.
And you talk about how this area specifically here in South Sacramento, you felt like it's lacked the targeted economic development. So often we talk about how sometimes this part of the community has been overlooked in terms of resources, right, in terms of things that other parts of Sacramento get so easily. Right. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that and more about the change that you want to see happen?
Right. Everybody knows for some time we've had some challenge areas within the district. You look at Center Parkway and Mack Road, which we've worked numerous times to address the challenges with crime, with business development. We moved at one point to organize a peace walk that was sustained for over 5 years to address the community violence. And then we moved to support the launching of the Valley High Community Center. And then we moved to support the launching of the Simmons Center, while still that business still remained the same and a lot of challenges within that area. I think for me, as a community leader / pastor, I think it needs the support of elected officials to say, okay, how can we partner together to really revitalize the area? I think that's one prime example, right? Also, for the last 5 years, we've worked to reduce infant mortality rate in partnership with the Sierra Health Foundation and a lot of other county partners as well. I think a city council position affords the opportunity to continue to partner in key issues that directly affect the challenges in our vulnerable communities that need a commitment to continued funding, continued resources, and continued opportunity, right? To really create a space, and I call this creating a space where all boats can float. The tide has risen in multiple opportunities, with multiple opportunities in other parts of the community. And the tide has risen for all of us, but our boat in South Sacramento may not have been able to float. My job as a city council member is to ensure every boat floats in our community.
And for background purposes, how long have you been a pastor for?
So I've been a pastor for about 16 years. I've been a senior pastor for 2 years. Well, actually, November will mark my 2-year anniversary since becoming senior pastor of South Sacramento Christian Center.
And have all of those 16 years been spent at the South Sacramento Christian Center?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, all of the 16 years been spent at South Sacramento Christian Center. As you know, even during the pandemic, we pivoted. There was a shelter in place for everyone. Churches had to close their doors. We actually repurposed our sanctuary, one of our sanctuaries, and converted into a food distribution center. And in partnership with the Sacramento Food Bank, City of Sacramento, we expanded our ability to distribute food and to deliver food to well over 2,000 people every single week that we actually deliver food to or come get food from our food distribution. I think it's that kind of leadership. It's proven leadership. It's leadership even before a pandemic and during a pandemic that this district needs. In addition to doing that, we really empowered our staff and support group to distribute masks. I called it Mask for the People. And we partnered with the Sacramento Kings and a lot of other partners, and we were able to collect over 45,000 masks and redistribute over 45,000 reusable masks. These aren't just the ones, paper masks. These are ones you can take home and rewash. I think that's proven leadership. There was a lack of accessible test sites for COVID-19 when the pandemic started. We began to advocate, and next thing you know, we were able to move a community, and I call that again, Test for the People, community test site within the district, and we use our space here at the church to facilitate that every Friday. That's proven leadership, right? I think you have to have strong leaders that are ready to go day one. And that requires being active now within the community, even before the pandemic.
So your story is so unique to me. I feel like we don't always hear about city council candidates that have your background. We don't always hear about a local pastor that wants to sit on city council and make a bigger difference, bigger than he's already making, he or she is already making. So from your perspective, talk to me a little bit about that. You know, you're coming from this religious background, you're running this church, you're also running this community center, and now you want to sit on council. So talk to me a little bit about that and your sort of unique position here.
Yeah, well, I think one of the groundings that I come from, I've been a part of Sacramento Act for many years, which is a multi-faith organization focused on racial justice, equality. And, you know, my grounding comes from a deep commitment to loving people, to empowering people. As you said, I'm a pastor. I'm actually a fourth generation pastor. I have pictures with my grandfather and Dr. King marching together, organizing together. I think I have a deep commitment to supporting everyone and ensuring everyone has the opportunity to live, to thrive, to grow, and is treated like, you know, real human beings with dignity and respect. I think this is historic because I don't know of any pastor that has been in city council, but I still go by Les Simmons. I don't even actually go by Pastor Les most of the time. I just call me Les. And then because of my community ties, right, and addressing key issues that are around a lot of the tension that we see right now, the racial tension that we see after for decades, but even right now during the pandemic that shined a spotlight on our country and these issues around policing, these issues around racism. I've had decades of being in the trenches at addressing these issues and holding space to move our collective and shared vision of Sacramento forward, right? When the protests broke loose after multiple shootings, but after the shooting of Stephon Clark, I was right there to help hold space to move us forward to ultimately be a part of a coalition that really created the largest police reform in the state since 1876, I believe, when the use of force policy was enacted. We helped lead an effort with AB 392 to change California's use of force policy, right? I think that's proven leadership, both then and now, that I bring and I offer as a candidate for city council.
And I feel like you are already so involved in our community, and you wear so many different hats in our community.
Right.
What if you are elected, what will change for you? Is anybody going to take over all of those positions that you already hold? Is anybody going to take over your position as pastor? Are you going to continue to do what you've already been doing on top of sitting in the council seat if you're elected?
You know, I've always held multiple positions and sat on multiple boards, whether on the board of SAC Act, on the board of Macro Business District, part of the statewide leadership of Pico, California, on the police commission at the same time, developing the Simmons Community Center, the director for the Valley High Black Child Legacy Campaign, or pastoring. I've sat on all of those spaces before in balance, been able to balance. I have a good support base, a good staff. My family is all the way in. My children are all the way in. And they allow us to to really stand on their shoulders and lead during this time. So some of the things may change. Pastoring is not one of them, and continuing to invest and ensure the development of our precious work of restoring the Simmons, or the old Cowskate, now Simmons Center, I think is one of them. Now there will for sure be some other things that have to kind of retract from, because all of my energy and effort will be in moving our entire community in District 8 forward and connecting it to the larger vision of Greater Sacramento as well. You know, come November 4th, we won't be out of a pandemic, unfortunately. I wish we could flick a switch and we could travel again internationally. I wish we could flick a switch and our kids could go back to school in Sacramento School District. I wish that the businesses that, if you drive around Mack Road and Stockton Boulevard, can take the boards off the windows and open back up again. But unfortunately, it's not going to be that simple. And for me, it's going to require intentionality at supporting the businesses, intentionality at supporting the children, the kids, and their ability to be protected, intentionality in supporting those that are in the transient population and affordable housing and economic development. That my proven leadership has afforded me a set of ideas and experiences already.
And I think we are just about out of time, but I want to give you the last word here. Do you have anything else that you want to let voters know about, or anything else that you think I may have missed here?
Well, first off, thanks again for the interview. Thank you for all you do. And I also want to say to those listening, continue to be safe. We are not out of the clear yet, and we're here to support each other. You can go to my website at simmonsforsacramento.com for more information about some work I've done and how you can get involved in the campaign. We only have a few weeks left till November 3rd. It's a lot hanging on the line for this both city election, this district election, and then our national election. And I look forward to helping to move our community forward if elected as our next city council member. I'm humbled, to be in this time doing what we're doing.